So we've got things that you feel are linked to integrity or part of integrity and how it works. What I find interesting is that actually, when you sort of try and say, well, let's focus in on what integrity is and how we measure it, many of those things aren't actually measurable. So to some degree, there is an issue about how we hone in and start defining something that in many ways is made up of things that can't necessarily be specifically defined. There's that element of it feels right rather than we can measure it as being right. But many of the things that people often talk about in terms of what does integrity mean, how does it work, are there. If we look at the baseline on integrity in terms of much of the research is that it conforms to behaviour consistent with your values. Now, you've mentioned that. What is interesting, though, is that then you can pose the question, which values? Whose values? When? Where? Situational. And I think that's where we start getting into the area of having to seriously think about it, because the moment you actually say people are either acting or not acting with integrity, it's immediately in your perception to some degree on first response, black or white. And we all fall into the trap of saying it's black or white. But actually on further analysis, it's not necessarily black or white. There's a number of shades of grey in terms of the principle, let alone the reality of practice within the real world. And that's where I think it gets quite interesting.